Hey everyone, today I've got your Underworld Blood Wars movie review. Vampire Celine is in an all-out war with the Lycans and other vampires that betrayed her. Can she survive? So, as far as the story goes, this is a movie that has its first female director, if I'm not mistaken, since this franchise was originally directed by Kate Beckinsale's husband at the time, Len Weissman, and Anna Forster is now directing this fifth installment. And I just think it is so crazy that it's already on to the fifth movie. And I'm wondering if this franchise is going to end right here or they're planning even more in the future. I don't know how that is, because how old is Kate Beckinsale and how long is she planning on being this character, even though she actually was one of my favorites in this franchise as well as in this movie. I was slightly disappointed going into seeing this because I feel like since the last movie, Underworld Awakening, came out, I was just really disappointed by what I had seen. It really bothered me that it seemed to go downhill, and I liked the first two movies and also maybe that prequel to Underworld, but I'm not even going to bother getting into that because this movie has this war between the vampires and the Lycans, who are the werewolves, and of course they've always been in this feud, but now it is for Celine's blood, which also goes to her daughter, who she had with Scott Speedman's character from the previous films, and he unfortunately is not in this movie, but now they created a Lycan vampire hybrid, and now her blood is even more valuable than ever. So that's why they have this war. It's a blood war. That's why this movie is called Underworld Blood Wars. As far as the casting goes, you've got Kate Beckinsale, who comes back as Celine, and of course, like I said, I am a huge fan of hers in this movie. I just think she kicks serious butt, and she's just awesome. But now I feel like she is more vulnerable because of the, blood-stealing situation, but also the fact that her vampire buddies hate her because she killed their leader, and now they think that she's, this, public enemy number one. But she has to have some friends on her side, like Theo James, who I absolutely love in this series, and he's only been in one other movie, which was the last Underworld movie. And of course, I don't remember exactly how his character, came to be, but then in this movie, I feel like they did have some sort of connection, and I did sort of see some comparisons between his character here to the one in the Divergent series, and even some other related scenes to that movie as well. So I did love these two actors, and then you've got some characters that you just hate to love, but you also love to hate, like that other chick that was in this movie that was trying to, get the upper hand, and I'm just thinking, you're not as badass as Celine. The things that I did like about this movie, obviously I have to give it up to some of the action and stunt scenes, because those are always stylistically really cool and it never gets old, but I feel like at times it didn't completely impress me, and I feel like I wasn't seeing anything completely new. But I did love some of the new locations that they were shooting scenes at, because it was cool to see something that wasn't just on this one vampire mansion site, and then you get to meet other new characters that are more albino looking. I mean, they're already pale enough, but then they have blonde hair, so it gets even colder, literally, because Celine's wearing the winter jacket. But those are the only things that I felt were really cool. I did get excited seeing the final act with the vampires and Lycans battling it out, even though that was kind of fast-paced. But unfortunately, the things that I didn't really like about this movie, there were some repetitive scenes and things that I have seen before, so I didn't feel like there was a need to recap a lot of what was going on from the previous Underworld movies, even though it would be nice if you want to connect the entire series together so that you can catch up for those who hadn't seen those movies. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to binge watch all these movies, because this franchise was cool in the beginning, but there really isn't much new about this movie, even though there is a lot at stake. But it can be really boring at times, and I just felt like there was a point where it should have just ended, and it was a good thing that this movie only lasted an hour and a half, which, you know, I felt like was kind of a disappointment because I could have seen a little bit more as far as the story went, considering that I still have no clue if they're planning on continuing this franchise after this movie, but I feel like it is open to more films down the road. So overall, I would say the Underworld Blood Wars was actually one of the disappointing movies of the start of 2017. And even though I did like some things, I would say this isn't the best movie of the franchise. So I'm kind of on the fence about recommending this movie to you guys if you are a fan of the Underworld series. I just don't see this movie being one of my top favorites out of the 5 movies that had come out. So I would give this 1 heart on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of Underworld Blood Wars. How would you rate all the Underworld movies in the series? And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys later.